Hey, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee, and I am doing a nuke inspection today, a split inspection actually. I'm checking out the two splits that I did. One I did about a week ago, and the other I did coming up to 4 weeks ago. So on the one, I'm just trying to see if a queen has emerged yet. A queen should have emerged. I left it with 3.5 queen cells. And the other one, I found the queen. The queen had emerged. It's getting to be about 4 weeks on that one. So that queen should be laying now. I should be finding eggs and or larva brood in there. So that's the point for the inspection today, and that will tell me if my ongoing splits are, or my first two splits are ongoing successes. So thanks for joining me. Okay, so we're checking. This is the split that I did for my Costanza hive. And I left more or less 3.5 queen cells in here, I think. So it was 3 queen cells that were fully developed and sealed and looking like, a couple of them were looking like they're just about to emerge. And one of them was only half built, filled with larvae and royal jelly. So hopefully what I'm hoping to find here, it's a 5-frame nuke box, which I put 4 frames into. 1 frame for them to fill out. I'm hoping that they've started to fill out the other frame. They should have hatched out some brood, but most importantly I'm hoping to find a queen in here. So let's see how she goes. This was my first split that I did on my own. There's not many bees. That's my first impression. Not many bees in there yet, but that wouldn't be too big a surprise because it's a split, right? So let's just see what we get here. So this first frame out here was a honey frame. Pulled out, I used my handy dandy frame hanger here, which I've gotten accustomed to. It's not bad. I don't think you have to have one, but it doesn't hurt. If you don't have a place to put your frames down, if you're going to be putting them on the ground, then you should definitely get one. So let's see what the first frame gives us. Yeah, heavy frame, just full of honey. They do have some drone comb on that. That was what I put in there. There was drone comb on that frame there. So we're going to look for the queen on this frame, even though it's not very likely that she'd be on here. She could be on here, you never know. Big drone there. Big drone right there. See the queen on this side. Good comm bees so far. Definitely do not see the queen on this side either. Okay. It's amazing. I haven't smoked these bees. I've got the smoker in proximity. So it may be that because of that, they've sort of taken the warning signs, because they are all face in their cells drinking honey. Look at this. They're not moving at all. Just sitting there sipping honey. So you can see on this one we've got some emerged queen cells down here. I'll take a closer look at that in a second. It's full of pollen, brood, honey. And no, that does not look like an emerged queen cell down there. It just looks like bird comb. See? Okay, so having a good look for the queen on this one. Boy, the drones are just freaking out. Look at them, eh? First of all, the drones are humongous. Look at the size of them. And they're just really kind of running around like chickens with their heads cut off. The rest of the bees seem really calm. The drones are nuts. Okay, just looking for a queen here again. I don't see her. Lots of different sized bees on here. Some very small ones. some rather large ones. Looking on this side again, just a nice brood frame. Let's get out of here. Nice brood frame. I'm looking for the queen. I don't see her. There's brood, there's pollen, there's honey. It's a very nice looking frame. I'll let you have a quick look at this one. Okay. Not quite sure where I would expect to see the queen in this hive right now, because I see that there's still a lot of brood that's unhatched. If she has emerged in the last, it would be in the last 3 or 4 days, she's probably not ready to lay. She's probably, hopefully, started to mature enough to do mating flights, but so far what I definitely have not seen are queen cells or supersedure cells that were on these frames before. So that's a good sign that a queen has emerged and unceremoniously murdered the other queens and destroyed the cells. I don't see a queen on this frame either. And fur comb on the bottom, which again I don't mind. On this side we've got a lot of pollen. It's almost completely packed with pollen, honey, and nectar. Just a little bit of brood. So this brood has emerged and they are backfilling it with the aforementioned products. Just looking for the queen now. No. Now this next frame is where we had a supersedure cell right in the middle. So it was a cell that was in the middle as opposed to a swarm cell on the bottom. So we should definitely see if that cell has hatched out. How many bees on this frame? Yeah, so the supersedure cell was right around here. Not sure if it was this side or the other side, but I definitely don't see it. Now I've got to look for a queen. I don't see a queen here, do you? Let's try the other side. Nope. I don't see her. How about you? Well, I see the other frame and it's completely empty, so I won't bother with that one. Yellow jacket is trying to get in the hive here. Don't recommend you do that, yellow jacket. I'm going to put this frame down. I'm going to go through the previous frames again. I won't keep you on through this because it might just be boring. And I'm going to try to look for the queen again. I've got a good feeling that she's in here. All the cells are hatched out, so that's a really good sign. And if there is a new queen in here, for all I know, she could be on a mating flight right now. But there are a lot of bees in the air. It's a gorgeous day here. It's around, there's a yellow jacket I'm going to kill here. It's around 26 degrees, which is probably around the mid-80s Fahrenheit. And we're just in the middle of a fantastic honey flow here. It's been nothing but sun and hot temperatures. And it's just interrupted every 6 or 7 days by some rain shower activity, which just keeps everything lush and growing. So, all right, I'm going to put you on pause now, and I will keep looking for my queen here. Last frame here, I've been through the box twice, and I have not spotted a queen. So last chance for romance. So look for a queen on this frame, which again wouldn't be the most likely frame for her to be on because it's filled with nectar and honey. And I got a bee coming up my shorts. Get out of there, you. I haven't smoked these bees at all yet. They're very calm, there's no doubt. They're pretty active. I've seen them balling a bee, and I thought maybe that was the queen. Maybe they were having an issue with the queen and balling up. They were balling a bee, but it wasn't the queen. It's just a regular worker bee. So I see that similar type of activity here. Look at this. See right in here? A lot of intense bee activity. Throw them away, and they're just regular worker bees, so no queen that I see on this side. Lots of beautiful honey and nectar on this frame. Tons of pollen and resources in this hive. It's doing fine. So I'm just going to put it back together and wait. There's definitely signs that all the queens hatched. All the queen cells are gone. So we put this back and we wait and we see what happens. So hive number 1 inspection for the split, the Costanza split. Not a great success. Wouldn't call it a failure, but I didn't find a queen, so which was the goal. So unfortunately we'll have to come back, give it a few days and come back and check again. Now we'll go on to the other hive. Okay, so I'm checking out split number 2, which was actually my first split. Now it's coming up on 26 days. I think today is the 26th day since the split. And I have spotted the queen in here. Not today, but spotted her a couple of times during my travels. And she hadn't started laying yet. So by day 26 she should be laying. So that's what we're hoping to see. We're hoping to spot eggs or larvae. And that would make this a completely successful split. So seem to be a lot of bees in there, which is a great sign. These are coming at me a little bit, so I will smoke them. It's just amazing. You can tell right off the bat when you open the lid if the bees are going to be ultra calm or ultra not. As you can see, well, maybe you can't see it because it's in your picture, but they come right at you. Right off the bat, and if you have to just stay calm and just focus on your work. You can't smoke them. That forces them back down into their hive, causes them to gorge, which again isn't the healthiest thing for them, I would imagine, but I know no other way to deal with these. Alright, so we're going to look through this and just try to look for signs of a right laying queen, which would be the ultimate success in the split. So let's see what we got here. Beautiful honey frame. And I will look for the queen on every frame here. No luck in finding the queen in my previous split. And again, I'm the first one to admit that I'm not great at finding the queen anyway. So she may be there, she may not. I went through the hive twice and I didn't find her. In here, I didn't see her the first time, but you spotted her on camera. And then I did see her the second time. So again, no queen on there. No queen on here that I could see anyway. And now on this one, I got a few bees. Let's see what we got here. Again, on this hive, we don't need to spot the queen. We've already seen the queen. What we need to see is that she has had successful mating flights and is starting to lay brood. This would be a perfect frame for her to lay in. And I do not see any eggs. Just seeing some nectar and honey, and that is about it on this frame. So look for the queen, and I'll let you have a look at it. This one's just full of nectar. Look at that. Holy smokes. Now again, some people say the queen doesn't walk across nectar-filled frames, and that's not true, because last time I spotted her, that's exactly where I spotted her, is walking across a nectar frame. And you know, it seemed like maybe she wasn't yet impregnated, because there was a lot of laying that she could do, and she wasn't doing any laying. She's just kind of walking around. So okay, I don't see her here. They are starting to fill out this blank frame, which is good. Just starting to draw out comb there. See that? Let's see if we got a queen on here. Drawing out this side nicely too. Look at it. Okay, let's see if we can spot the queen on this side. Some very big females here, but big workers. But not queen big. What a frame this is. This would be a perfect frame to see the queen on. Lots of space to lay. Let's take a look on this side. Lots of newly capped honey here. That's interesting. Little queen cup there. Nothing in it. Another queen cup here. Nothing in that. Again, I wouldn't expect to see anything in there because there hasn't been anything laying in here. So, looking for the queen now. I'm not seeing her. Like, it would be really hard to see the queen if she were in this pile here. But the queens rarely stand still. They usually move around quite a bit, quite consistently. And they have like a purpose to their gait. They are tended to regularly, but it's not like they run around in a gaggle. It just seems that as she makes her way around, everybody gets out of the way. And as she goes by, she is tended to by workers as well. So it's more spotting that pattern than spotting one individual bee out of 40,000. Just what it feels like you're doing. A very light frame. There's the queen. Beautiful. Wow. Wow, she's large. Holy smokes. Check out this queen. How could you miss this? Let's make sure I've got a good grip on this, first of all. You can see her right near the bottom middle of the frame, heading towards the bottom of the frame. Wow, that is a big fat queen. She's a lot bigger than she was a week ago. I'm going to observe her for a while and just see if she's laying. That's a big queen, boy. Holy smokes. It is hard to miss a queen that big, I gotta say. Holy smokes, look at her. Well, I mean, it's a good sign that she is that big, even if I don't spot eggs, which I'm gonna have a very close look at in the next couple of frames. But that she's that big, to me, says that she's pregnant. Some people have mentioned that I should try and mark her while we're in this kind of a position, just sitting here, but I don't think I have the chutzpah to do that. So I don't observe her laying here. It'd be nice to see her stick her butt in a cell or two. But I mean, she's doing what a queen does, right? She's running the show. Wow, she's big and beautiful. Hey, get off her. Get off her, you. Okay, I'm going to put her back in. She's coming right to my finger now. Look at that. My goodness, what a beauty. What a big bee. Wow. She's definitely not anxious about being out of her hive or about me being here, but I don't want to keep her out any more time than I need to. Certainly here, that part of the mission is accomplished. I haven't seen eggs yet. And I do see eggs in this frame. Beautiful. This frame is loaded with eggs. That is wonderful. Okay, so she's laying queen. That's great. So just going to look on this side, being mindful of her. Eggs all over this frame too. Great news. Okay, so we have a laying queen. Da 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 da. In the first split, which was the split that we did off the very healthy hive. Did it about 24 days ago. And she's looking really good. Okay, let's get her back inside. Get her back inside now that I know where she is. And put the next frame right up to her so that I know I don't squish her. So that's great news. So successful split. Now what I'll do is I'll give this thing another few days. They're just starting to build out comb here. So right now the most important thing to do is to allow her to multiply bees, get lots of bees drawn in, lots of resources, and then in the span of maybe a couple of weeks you might consider putting on a second brood box here, or maybe just operating this one as a single. I don't know yet. I'll see how that goes. I've considered that before, and this might be the ideal box. This box has the queen that has my incredible genetics for my hive that's doing gangbusters. So I wouldn't mind making this resource hive, maybe taking more splits off this hive. I just don't know if I want to do it this year. So anyway, that's it. One hive successful. Queen laying, very big queen, looks like she's impregnated at 24 days. Second split, which is only at, I guess, 6 days. 6 days. All the queen cells have hatched. I didn't find a queen, but it's not to say there isn't one in there or isn't one on a mating flight. So thanks for joining me on my quest for queens. My splits, one successful and one still pending on 4D honeybees.